Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of CAAS Matters. I'm excited today to bring a friend and colleague to the table, John Russo. John is a partner executive at Sage Intacct, and we're going to talk a lot about how a powerful GL platform can enable the advisory aspect of business insights, which is obviously what we've been talking about over the past several episodes. So, John, welcome to the podcast, and let's get a little intro from you.
Well, thanks for having me, John. It's great to be here. I'm currently a partner executive with the Intacct Accountants program at Sage. And the mission of my team is to provide a comprehensive partner program that enables accounting firms and business process outsourcing organizations to deliver high value accounting services to their clients. Now, I've been in the accounting industry for over 15 years, and I started out my career as an auditor at a top 10 public accounting firm. After leaving public, I joined a technology startup, spent about 5 years there. And one of the first tasks that I had was building out an accounting and finance function from the ground up using cloud technology, which at the time was still in its early years. So as you can imagine, there was a lot of bumps and bruises trying to build out that technology stack. We did end up pulling through and created a really great tech stack that helped to scale the business. But what really came out of that time with the tech startup was I realized that my passion was really with technology and not so much with the debits, credits, and analyzing financial statements. So decided to take the leap over to the vendor side of the business. And for the past 7 years, I've been helping firms move to the cloud and leverage best-in-class technology to help deliver higher value services to their clients.
Awesome. We share a lot in common there. I was with a big firm and realized that debits and credits were not my thing either. So, so I appreciate much better being on the technology and advisory side. So, this podcast, we've done a series of these, and we've talked about things from what is CAS 2.0, Business Insights CAS. And we've talked about it from the accounting standpoint. We've talked about it from financial planning and analysis type advisory services. We've talked a little bit high level about the technology and how that enables. So I appreciate you coming on because today I really want to talk about, obviously you're coming from Sage Intacct, which is a great partner of ours. And I really want to come at it from how does a platform like Sage Intacct power a Business Insights CAS? We know that it's world-class GL integrations, marketplace partners, and so I just kind of want to dive into those things with you to talk about, from a philosophical standpoint. And obviously, you got some examples with Sage, but philosophically, how do you guys think about this when you work with your partner firms like Whitley Penn? So, I know, I think we all know that it's important to start with a very powerful GL as your starting point, and there are, tools like Zero and QBO and others, but there's a certain point if you're trying to get fully business insights that maybe there's an opportunity to move to even a greater, more powerful GL system. So tell me a little bit about, kind of where Sage Intacct came from and how you guys think about that when you start talking to your client partners.
Yeah, that's a great question, John. And when you have a powerful general ledger package that's the right fit for your business, you'll end up having a single source of truth that will provide improved productivity, more accurate and timely information, and allow you to have greater control over how you analyze your data. Because the general ledger is the foundation of any financial system, it's absolutely critical that this technology not only solves your needs for today, but also has the ability to grow with your firm over time. What we see so often, especially in my role, I talk to a lot of accountants, I talk to a lot of businesses. We see a lot of businesses that try to force the use of entry-level accounting systems that they've clearly outgrown. And some of the ways that you'll know that you've outgrown your current accounting system is if you're doing things like exporting data to Excel to generate reports, or if you're spending hours or even days on, let's just say, financial statement consolidations. I think in today's environment, really, if you're doing anything manually, if there's any task being done manually, you should take a step back and ask yourself if there's a more efficient way to be doing this. I mean, there's quite literally hundreds, if not thousands, of cloud-based technologies that can help automate almost any area of your business. But before you could take advantage of these amazing technologies, you really need to have that powerful foundation, and that all starts with the general ledger.
Awesome. Yeah, we We term it enabling visibility and control because obviously, if you're looking for business insights, you've got to have that visibility into your numbers, and so that you can take control over that. As you said, a single source of truth, and then use that data to make decisions more on a real time basis. Obviously, we've certainly seen over the past few years the need to have a quicker access to the data and be able to make decisions on the fly. So that's what we typically look for. Is that similar your experience with your firm and your client partners and their clients?
Yeah, absolutely. Getting access to real time data is the key, right? That's what we use to make decisions. And if you're backwards looking, if you're closing the books and it's taking you 2 to 3 weeks to get the financial information that you need, I mean, how valuable is that data? So the goal is to get to as close as real time as possible, and that's what we use technology for.
Absolutely. So you start with a GL, and obviously there are other systems that you may have in place, like Salesforce or some operating system, a billing system, those type of things. So that's when you start talking about integrations and to actually get to that data, to create that single source of truth, to have that real time access. How do you look at that? How do you work with your clients to look at that issue?
Yeah, absolutely. So as it relates to accounting software, an integration is really when you have two or more technologies, and you use those technologies to extend the functionality of your financial management system, really turning that system into a flexible and scalable enterprise-wide solution. And the way that this happens is through what's called an application programming interface, or an API. And really what that is, it's just a set of defined rules that enable different applications to communicate with each other. Some familiar examples of an API would be when you're on an e-commerce website and you're going to check out and you click that PayPal button, or when you're going to sign up for a service and it asks you to register by using your social media or your Google or your Apple IDs. So those are really the ways that the integrations work, is through that API.
Have you worked with some of your partners to look at the integrations and how they have impacted the business?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a lot of benefits to integrations, and those are the conversations that we have with our partners. Uh, I'll mention a few today, but there's many, right? So the first benefit of an integration really is you can connect to almost any technology through pre-configured or custom connections. If you take Sage Intacct, for example, we have a marketplace with over 350 pre-configured connections. Things from CRM to e-commerce, human capital management, or even point of sale, to name a few. And the great thing about Sage Intacct specifically is we have an open API, which means that even if the technology you're trying to connect to is not in the marketplace with a pre-configured connection, you still have the ability to connect to Sage Intacct. You just need to get your IT team involved to build that connection. The second benefit really is that it future proofs your business. As we all know, technology is evolving at a rapid pace. So as long as your general ledger can keep up with the growth of your business, you'll never run out of integration options, meaning that you can continually expand the functionality of your general ledger over time with little or no effort on the part of the business owner. And then finally, another benefit of an integration is that it accelerates time to value. Because pre-configured integrations are essentially plug and play, you can gain the benefit of the technology stack in a matter of minutes or hours compared to days, weeks, or even months with custom integrations. This reminds me, we had one situation where a client had a staff member who was manually keying in transactions from dozens of custodians, and it would take that person multiple days to complete this task. That client integrated with one of our app partners, and they were able to now complete this process with the click of a button. So now they were able to take that staff time and reallocate it to more higher value work. And really, that's what this all comes down to, is that we need to use technology to automate those routine non-value added tasks, and integrations along with a powerful GL will help you do that.
Yeah, we talk a lot about that when we talk to our clients. We want to use technology to get your staff out of the weeds, and like you said, get to that higher level of advisory and insight. So you have now this data. Now you have time to look at the data, analyze the data, and help make decisions on that data. And it's not about, sometimes it's about, cost cutting and those kind of things, but generally it's about just making your people more productive, more valuable to the organization by allowing them to build those insights and to help drive the business.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's talk a little bit more about the marketplace partners. I know the API, and I've learned recently how to spell API, so I'm pretty excited about that. So obviously you have native integrations through the marketplace partners, and we've used lots of them. They're expense management tools and AP management tools and those kind of things. We have an integration team ourselves, and so we build custom integrations. But let's talk a little bit more about in the marketplace and how that's kind of constructed and how that works. Firms like us, how we work with you and our clients to bring all that to the table.
Yep, absolutely. So our the Intacct marketplace is available to anybody on the internet. So essentially, what you would do is when you were looking for an integration, you would go up to the marketplace as a search bar. You would type in CRM or expense management, whatever technology you're looking to solve for, and you will get a slew of different integrations that are available. Again, these are all pre-configured. It really doesn't require any programming at all. It's essentially just a mapping of the technology vendor to Sage Intacct. And then from that point, the technology syncs, the transactions sync from that third-party vendor to Sage Intacct and vice versa. So it automates that entire process, and that's typically a process that's done manually, right? So let's just say Salesforce, for example, you would export that data from Salesforce and then either upload it into Sage Intacct or manually key it in. By integrating via API, everything is done automatically. And as far as working with our partners, we absolutely we work with them to build out their tech stacks for their clients. We work with, as I mentioned before, lots and lots of accountants. So we see a lot of different technologies being utilized. So we bring that information to our partners to help them build out very intricate tech stacks for their clients as well.
Well, John, that's great information, and I know it's valuable information for our clients and our listeners as we kind of go down this journey of this Business Insights CAAS. And I really appreciate you coming on. Any kind of last words of wisdom you want to provide? And this is also your chance to talk about Sage Intacct and the strength of that platform too.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to bring something up that, not all tech platforms can be all things to all people, right? And that's really where the marketplace comes into play. Sage Intacct, for example, was built from the ground up as an open source, best in class solution that was designed to integrate with other best in class solutions like Salesforce or Concur, as an example. With a best in class solution, you'll have the ability to build your own ecosystem the way that you want to and purchase really the technology that you need and leave out the technology that you don't need. This offers a ton of flexibility so that if you're not happy with a vendor or you outgrow their product, you can simply disconnect from that partner and then move into a different technology. Another benefit is that the best-in-class model is that the third-party vendor, they specialize in what they do. So if you're connecting to like a Salesforce, for example, you know that they're the best in the CRM space, and they'll continue to innovate and develop that product. There was a quote by Steve Jobs I think is appropriate right now, and that is, don't try to do everything, do one thing well. And that's really exactly what the marketplace partners bring to the table, is the expertise and the specialization.
Absolutely. We agree with that, and I think that's why we've built this long-term partnership with you guys at Sage Intacct, because we know that you're focused every day, all day on that world-class GL platform solution, and you partner with companies that also do the same thing in their particular niche. So, yeah, we truly value this partnership, and again, I appreciate you coming on and being part of this podcast.
Well, thanks, John. It was great being here.
So that's wraps up another episode of Cast Matters. We appreciate you listening, and listen out soon for the next episode. And we look forward to talking to everyone again soon. Take care.